Are you just trying to live, laugh, or love? Or are you just trying to do all of the above? This is the podcast for you. Whether you're an aspiring comic, a headlining comic, a class clown, or just an average bro or doe looking for a good time, you, my friend, are in the right place. Welcome to the magical world of Just Trying to Podcast. Here we go.
And we back. America is a country that I live in, and freedom is very fun. It's the 4th of July, this ain't no silly lie. I am a man from Missouri. Welcome, triers, doers, and everything in betweeners. This is Just Trying to Podcast with your host, Mike Tony Heath. It is a pleasure to be with you, my friends, on this wonderful 4th of July. Are you born in the USA? Born in the USA. I've already listened to Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen 5 times. My goal is to hit 21 before the end of the day. I think I'm a little bit off pace, but I am hopeful to reach the finish line by the end of the day. Born in the USA. Born in the USA. Born to be free. I'm Mike Tony. Yeah. This has been good. All right. So happy 4th of July, everybody. Welcome to Just Trying to Podcast. This is a special live stream. Maybe you were lucky enough to have the day off of work and you joined us here on Tuesday, the 4th of July, celebrating America's independence. Today, I just wanted to maybe learn some stuff about the 4th of July together, remember some things that we know. Anyways, I put out this Instagram reel this week, and it's been my most successful. I almost didn't post this Instagram reel. I was like so close to not posting it. It was about this clip from the last episode, JTP 22. And I was talking about this water distribution, how scientists are saying that we've actually shifted the axis of the earth at least 30 inches because we use water and it goes into the ocean. It doesn't go back into the ground where we pulled it from for like water aquifers for agriculture and different activities like that. Anyway, so I posted this reel talking about my solution to not only redistribute the water, but save the flat earthers. Like, I bet you, dude, at the Flat Earth Society gathering this year, they're going to be talking about this. They're going to be freaking out, scared that we're all going to slide off. Because as I've been talking about this, man, as you can see in that reel, like if you have a table and you have a glass on the table, I'm drinking some sweet tea celebrating America's freaking independence the right way. This is a table, this is a tea. Use 30 inches. As you go there, we all just start to slide off the more you tilt it, right? So they're freaking out. And we need to correct this. I don't know what's going to happen if we don't correct it. But it's being talked about in a way of it's negative. So, again, the idea is people who live on the coast, or if you go visit the coast for vacation, you take some water from the ocean, you bring it back to your house, you dump it in the ground. That way, we are redistributing water. I obviously know nothing. I know nothing about anything. I understand nothing. That much is clear. And this is a comedy podcast. This is not a science podcast. I'm not trying to be a scientist. So I post this reel. I think it's a funny clip. And I just wanted to read some of the comments that we got from maybe you listeners. I don't know. You might be a listener. And I appreciate your feedback. or people who just saw the clip on Instagram. They don't listen to the podcast. But here are some comments from last week's episode, specifically about water distribution. All right. Stephanie Ann says, this is good. Thank you, Stephanie Ann. I appreciate the positivity. Snappy 3.0 says, wannabe Theo Vaughn. Who wouldn't want to be an extremely successful comedian? Am I right? Cookie KJT06. I cannot tell if he's being serious. And then someone replied to this. This is 8Spider8 says he is. I am being serious. I'm being seriously funny. That's what I'm just trying to do. And this one's really funny. It's AAIVE. Oh, it's like something anarchy. Avian anarchy. I don't know. Here's what their comments said. I truly believe the Earth being flat is by far more believable than this. That was such a good comment. That's so good. A lot of people commented about how the salt from the ocean water, because it's, if you didn't know, water. Okay, so whenever we drink water and it goes into the ocean, or we use it for agriculture, however we distribute this water, it's unsalted water. But there's salt in the ocean, so it becomes salted water. And sometimes even like a sore throat, you like gargle some salt water, and it's very comforting. The land and the plants don't find it comforting at all. Actually, it's like a negative effect to them. So you'll kill the plants. So people taught me that. So I learned that that was very helpful information. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Navid says, I really hope he is not being serious. Well, I'm not. Here's this can't be real. This is from Claw Effects 420. Claw Effects 420 says, facepalm, facepalm, facepalm. This can't be real. People are still promoting this flat earth shiz. Laughy face, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. Every single other planet in the observable universe is clearly round, but ours? Nah, ours is special. Thank you, Claw Effects. We are special. Like, the Earth is special. We know this. We all feel it in our bones. We feel our specialness in our bones. Anyways, I just really enjoyed all the feedback. By far, the most successful thing I've done on social media in terms of like viewership. So it's like, as I'm recording this, going live here, it's at 13.6K. And guess how many followers I've gained from it? 0. But I think it's just really fun. I was just thinking about, man, I didn't almost post that, but I got so much feedback, so much education happening. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I think that's important to just state, so everyone is on the same page about how little I actually know about anything. And that I'm not trying to do stuff, like not trying to figure it out. All right, I am trying to pull up this OBS thing though. And I cannot figure that out. So drop in the comments, how do I open up the OBS? Born in the USA. Born in the USA. Born to be free. Gonna see. Born in the USA. Born to be free. Born in the USA. Born to be free. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Here's what's going on with the 4th of July. I've got the deets. This is according to, here is the history of Independence Day, the 4th of July, according to history.com. They literally have it in the name that they are all about history. That's why we know and we can trust it to be true. Born in the USA, born to be free. All right, here's a history of the 4th of July from history.com. History.com. We're all celebrating, so just wanted to do some educational content. Dude, did you know the 4th of July goes back to July 1776? If you did not know that, maybe you're not an American. Maybe you're from Ireland or the Philippines listening to this. Here's what's kind of going on. All right, the 4th of July, dating back to 1776, the birth of American independence from the motherland. Here's the short history. So basically, you know, we are under the rule of Great Britain, GB, and they are, you know, we are not enjoying being under their leadership. So some homeboys get together. They talk about succeeding, successfully separating from GB and the king. They said, no more of that, dude. And so they're the Continental Congress. There's 13 colonies at this time. Lucky number 13. They come together like, we're going to do this, boys. So they draft up this doc from old Jefferson. So back in the day, before the Revolutionary War, colonists, they had held these celebrations to celebrate the king's like birthday. They would ring bells, you know, have these parties and speech making parades. So to contrast, you know, formerly celebrating the king's birthday, they're now celebrating the birth of our independence from the king, kind of mocking him, right? So what they would do is actually they celebrated the birth of our independence by holding a mock funeral of King George, symbolizing the end of the monarchy's hold on America. What's more American than that? You know, some old tyrant that used to rule us to celebrate our independence from we host a fake funeral. That's America, folks. Come on now, dude. And so what was going on? Congress, so it's actually in Philly, those gassy Philadelphians that held like the first like official celebration of annual celebration of independence, and that happened in 1777. While Congress was occupied in this ongoing war, George Washington issued double rations of rum to all of his soldiers to mark the anniversary of independence in 1778 and in 1781. So I think I like that. You know, Philly is the first to have this big thing, those gassy Philadelphians, and then George W. That's just another American thing, you know, give out more liquor to the people, more booze. So this celebration would go on, you know, year after year. And I was actually in that first celebration in Philly when they introduced fireworks, because I've been thinking about fireworks and like when did we start doing fireworks? So here's what happened in Philly is that ships that had cannons on them, they fired a 13-gun salute in honor of the 13 colonies. so that there was like these fireworks. Those fireworks have been around. I think history.com says they were early as 200 BC. So they had fireworks and it ended with those 13 cannons. Can you just imagine that? Like, we think we have some cool finales at our like local fireworks. It's like bang, 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 all these big things. But just imagine you had a bunch of fireworks and it ends with cannon, boom, cannon, boom, cannon, boom, just 13 times in a row. And there's kind of like some silence in between. It'd be a real powerful moment, like freedom. So I think, man, that's pretty cool. So when did it become a federal holiday where we could all come together around a barbecue, get out on the lake? So it was in 1870. So this is almost 100 years after we exist as a country. The U.S. Congress made July 4th a federal holiday. In 1941, it became a paid holiday to all federal employees. I think it's pretty standard unless you work in like the service industry. Sorry. I went to Safeway today. I participated in the problem of keeping that business open. And this sweet cashier lady, she was so frustrated about being at work. And this dude was pushing a cart. So like there's these fancy shopping carts here in the city because people like to steal shopping carts. So like the wheels will lock up on the cart like through some electrical system if it leaves like the perimeter of the parking lot. What was I talking about? Oh, so this lady was so frustrated that she had to be at work and her coworker was pushing this cart. She's like, "You can't do that. You're gonna break the wheels off." And he's like, "What do you want me to do? There's no carts out here." She's like, "Well, all the carts are in my line," because there was like 7 people behind me in line. I just felt real bad that, she had to be checking out people at Safeway instead of celebrating with their family, the freedom that we have. Anyways, thank you, Safeway employees. We appreciate you. So that's kind of, man, like, that's pretty neat. I didn't know. And what's kind of sad is that we're getting away from really shooting off fireworks. People in the East and the West, they have a lot of smoky skies right now. So some cities are actually putting away their fireworks for drone works. They're doing drone shows. That's the new hot thing in America. And it's a number of cities have begun doing this actually in the West. If you've watched the Super Bowl recently, like they'll have like these drone shows. So hundreds of drones in the sky lighting up doing this show in the sky. So a couple cities that are doing it this year, Salt Lake City, leave it to the Mormons to lead an innovation. They're trying to be conscientious, that's a word, of both our air quality and the potential for wildfires. That's what the mayor of Salt Lake City said, is they're holding their first drone show this year. Boulder, Colorado. Shout out to Boulder. CU, prime times there. They're doing the same because of fire danger. And then in Cali, you got Lake Tahoe and La Jolla. Down in San Diego, also doing drone shows. If you're in one of those cities, like drop a comment on this in the live or on the post-produced show. Would love to know, what did you think of the drone show? Was it better? Was it kind of reminiscent of those early celebrations back in the 1700s in Philly where they had the 13 cannons off the ship? Boom, boom, like a really dramatic ending, like way better than I think any of our current day like grand finales. Maybe the drone show is like just not only safer but cooler. I know it could be a lot of noise and like the smoke is real. So why not? Domino's Pizza is delivering pizza via a jetpack. So why not have a drone work show instead of a fireworks show, right? What are some other American things? What is more American? What is more American celebrating our independence than the Nathan's hot dog eating contest? Am I right? So the news broke earlier today that they were actually going to have to cancel the hot dog eating contest because of bad weather. And I'm like, can't you just like move indoors? Like, what do you mean, dude? If there's like lightning, even if it's outside, it's like, I don't know. It feels like, this is like pretty easy. Like America wants to see Joey Chestnut shove a bunch of hot dogs down his throat, to celebrate our independence. Like, what's more American than that? I think it was last year that some guy ran up on stage in like some protest and like almost kind of attacked Joey, and Joey just kind of stiffs arm him, right? I think that happened last year. It was like recently, I think, but I'm happy to hear that it's back on at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so that'd be 5 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm hoping to throw it on the telly, as I'm kicking back here on the 4th of July and watch Joey Chestnut do his thing. All right, before we, as we're wrapping this up, so what's going on in my comedy journey this next week? So this will drop on Friday, and then on Wednesday, July 2nd, so Wednesday of this next week, I will be performing at the Laughs Comedy Club here in Seattle at 8 p.m. Come through, grab a ticket. Tickets are like $5, folks. Come out, support live comedy, support me. It's my third audition at the club. I'm really excited about this opportunity again to come back there. Looking, third time's a charm. That's what they say. So I've been trying to refine my 5 minutes to get it real nice and tight. Nice tight 5 is what I'm shooting for. So thought it'd be fun here on the live just to watch a couple of those jokes, maybe do some feedback, do some critiquing of those bits to try to tighten it up. And then so the first one, I'm actually going to look at my last set for my last audition at the comedy club back in May, and I'm gonna cut one of my jokes that I did there and replace it with something we're gonna watch in a second. But there was this bit that I wanted to do. It was like towards the end of my set. It started at 3:06 on the YouTube link. I've already got it uploaded. It's public, so you could watch it if you're watching this later. Just want to watch this and then just kind of think of maybe like some think of word economy, what words can be cut there, and then maybe if there's any new tags or anything. So I've been just kind of going back over this. So I'm going to watch this. You'll watch it with me. And if you have any feedback, I got time to refine it. So I'd love to hear your feedback, kind of what you think works, what needs tweaked. And here we go.
Yep. I was missing my people recently, so I decided to visit a trailer park outside of the city. This was weird, man. They had a community pool. An underground pool in a trailer park. What? I asked them, how do y'all do this? It's like, we all contribute cash every month to share in this community amenity. I was like, oh, it's like socialism. Very progressive, Seattle, Everyone putting a little bit in every month for the greater good. Well, trailer parks in Missouri, we don't have pools, but we got ditches. After a good rain, we treat it like a pool. Yep. We wouldn't contribute cash, but we would contribute our trash. We throw some old pipes, bed frames, every live, laugh, love sign that we couldn't fit on the wall. Heck, after a few years, we had a little trailer water park going. I remember one summer we were jumping off Crazy Bill's fridge, diving into the ditch. Somebody got a concussion. We were climbing around on appliances from the kitchen and whatnot. But it was this one summer, my Uncle Tom, he had to get rid of some tires. So he threw his tires in the ditch because, everything goes in the ditch. And after one summer storm, it was a real hard rain. And we had a little lazy river action going down. Everyone got a tire, It was actually pretty progressive for Missouri.
I think the underground pool kind of the bewilderment of that. I think that needs to be like a bigger reaction, and maybe even kind of the setup for like walking onto this trailer park and like expecting, kind of setting this scene of like expecting it to be like a trailer park in Missouri, but it's like a much nicer, of course, because it's in Seattle. They couldn't just have a normal trailer park. They got an underground pool. And then, so I think I should incorporate that, like a bigger reaction to them having an underground pool. And then to incorporate a bit of an act out with like, how are you able to have this underground pool in the trailer park outside of Seattle? I think it needs to be bigger. Like it needs to be bigger, and it needs to be more like it needs to be more of a character, you know, like to resemble that guy that I talked to and represent his perspective on like, well, this is just like normal. It was just normal that they had it. So I think I need to do that a little bit. Tighten up the greater good, the socialism bit is like a little bit too much. That live, laugh, love sign that wouldn't fit on the wall ends up in the ditch. I think that gets a good pop every time. Crazy Bill's fridge. I just kind of ramble for a second there. So a word economy needs to be cut down. And then Uncle Tom's tire shop, I think could be punched up. Like I'm just sharing that information, but it's not funny. It's just like, you know, information download. And so it's like, it needs to be tightened up, or I need to throw a punchline in there. So yeah, I think there's just like a lot of setup in that last bit, but I like it. I think it's still got potential. I think I'm going to move that to the middle though, instead of the closer. I think I need to think of like maybe a better callback, or just like a stronger like concluding like confidence in the finish of that joke of it's actually pretty progressive for Missouri, a little bit like Seattle. I think that it needs to be reworked, the ending line there of that callback to progressivism. So then next, I wanted to look at, let's see here. I'm going to look at a set I did last night at Tacoma Comedy Club down in on 6th and Proctor, that one at their downtown location with the Monday mic down in T-Town. So here's a new chunk I've been working on about mullets and the differences between Seattle and Missouri. So you can listen in here. I'm going to be playing this clip of the set I did last night. If you're just hopping on to the stream, I'm playing a joke I did last night at open mic, kind of refining it. Drop your comments or your thoughts in the chat to let me know what you think, what could be better to be tightened up, or if things don't make sense, anything along those lines. So here I'm going to run it. And I might have to scrub the video a little bit to get to the point that I'm trying to get to. But here we go.
His friends won. Coming out here to Tacoma, I was driving down. I was like, it's going to be tough to beat Tacoma. You know, you're just like the Scottie Pippen to high metro. Just always.
It's a little roast of Tacoma there.
You got good stuff going on, like this club. This is a great club. You're not number one. It's got to be tough. It's got to be humble.
I come from humble roots myself. I'm from the great state of Missouri. Woo! Show me. And it's weird living out here because we're like so different. It's like blowing my mind. You know, we got different jobs, different beliefs, different shades of people. Like, I grew up with blacks and whites, and I'm used to that. But I'm not familiar with the level of white that is in Seattle. Like that, worked from home in your basement for 7 years, haven't seen the sun white. The kind of white that has Casper asking, should I bleach my skin? Scary. Scary stuff. I'm really aware of how divided our country are in our differences, you know. And as different as we are, like there's one thing that we share in common, like Missouri and Seattle, and that's the mullet. There are as many mullets in any bar in Capitol Hill as there are in every trailer park in Missouri. Like the ratio is 1 to 1. I go to Capitol Hill and I'm like I'm home, you know? We're flying different flags, but I'm home. It's nice. The president, you know, we're about to get a new one in, and they're always like, we're going to unite this country. You know, every campaign speech is about unification of this country. But I've never seen a president willing to grow a mullet. If you're really all about this unification, like, grow that mullet. We want that party in the back. I was telling a friend this, he's like, well, do you really think Joe could grow a mullet? Like, he's kind of balding on the top. I was like, the skull has just as much unifying power. We'd accept that. We know Joe's limits. You know, whoever the next person's going to be, grow that mullet. We got to unify this country, guys. We know the Democrats can't do it, the Republicans can't do it, but maybe the mulleteers, we could be the third party to do it. And I was educated in Missouri, but I'm pretty sure I remember them saying if you were 35, you can run for president. It's too soon to pull it off this round. I'm almost 30. I'll be 35 by the next election. And I've already got a mullet. And I was kind of thinking, man, we could kind of start this revolution right here, right now. Yeah, this guy's in. Who else is in? I got some clippers out back. I'll fire it up in my car. We'll clip. We'll change this country. Come on now. I'm not talking you kidding so much, guys.
The energy of that joke. I love the joke too. I love mullets. I love talking about mullets. I love thinking about politics and just in a silly way. Definitely not in a serious way, because again, I understand nothing. I know nothing. But I like the idea of a third party in America, just a third way, you know, a third way to do it all. So I've really liked how this joke has been building. I've been working on it for about a month and a half, testing it out. This is definitely the best it's gone, because I've been working on trying to tighten it up, give it some punch to it. I just thought of the kind of the contrast that we have, like between Missouri and Seattle, different jobs, different beliefs, different shades of people. I love that. I love it because it is like there's like 50 shades of white out here, and it's wild. Yeah, because I was walking to the grocery store the other day. I was running to the gym. That's what it was. I was running past the grocery store on the way to the gym. And I saw this person walking in front of me. And I honestly thought they had pure white leggings on. And as I approached, I realized that they just had some white shorts, and literally they had bare legs from like their mid-thigh to their ankles, which was as white as their white shorts. And I thought, that's bizarre. How are you that pale? And then I was just thinking about, man, there are a lot of like really pasty whites out here. It's like, one, like most of the year, there's like, you know, we have less sun than normal. But also like, I don't know, I've lived here for 7 months now. I feel like I'm pretty tan, like just being outside, you know, enjoying the good weather. Feels like people should be more tan. Like that. I think I need to slightly tweak that, like the level of like Seattle white, like not being prepared for that, like being familiar with blacks and whites in Missouri, but like the different like shades of like the intensity of the whiteness. And I think incorporate like an act out into Casper, like do like a Casper voice. I can't even think of what Casper sounds like right now, but I'm sure it's like a high pitched voice. So thinking about that. the line about like finding my home away from home, and I think that works well. But like when I'm talking about there's many mullets here as there are in Missouri. I think that has to be punched up a little bit. I don't really think. I think flying the different flags a bit is a little interesting, but it was received well last night. I don't know. We'll see here. But I think the policy in the front, party in the back, like the president being unwilling to grow a mullet, like if you're really about unifying our country, I think that that feels true, because like the president does always talk about that, but like how willing are you to be? And like if that's the thing that it would actually work, like would you do it to be the people's president? And then finally, just setting up for the mulleteers like revolution. I think it kind of tails off at the end, so I got to think about a different way to end that chunk of material right there. But I love the energy of it. I like starting out with that. I think the joke itself has a lot of life and energy. It's like a very fun topic, I think. So I'm thinking about this last audition opening up with that. And then this is kind of interesting. I feel like, like comedy is all about surprise. So, if you're coming to the show, like I guess I'm kind of revealing my cards, like what I'm going to do. Maybe that'll shoot myself in the foot on that. But, if you're not coming, or if you are, give me some feedback. And then maybe you can see your feedback in action. So you give me an idea for a tag or to change a setup or the punchline for a joke. And I may take your suggestions. So come to Laughs Comedy Club on Wednesday, July 12th to see if I use your suggestion here. Again, I've never done this on the podcast. I don't know if I'll do it a lot, but I thought this would be a fun way, kind of interacting online here to kind of see your feedback. Some cool things on the horizon for me here. I will be down in Tri-Cities. I will be hosting at Joker's Comedy Club in the first weekend of August. I think it's August 5th and 6th. So if you're down in the Tri-Cities or if you're in Eastern Washington, come down for one of those shows. Would love to hang out while I'm down in the Tri-Cities. I'll be putting more information out on those shows. I'll be hosting that weekend. I'm really looking forward to that. And I got a show down in Tacoma. Also at the end of August, could be in of July. I'll put the dates up on that on the website, Mike Tony Heath. You can see all the shows I'm doing. Obviously I'm going to have to open mics and stuff, but like an actual show, I've got the tickets and the links for that on there. I just want to wrap up. I got to feature at the Shanghai Room this last Friday, so I did 10 minutes. And like the Shanghai Room, like sometimes it's like a hot room and there's like 30, 40 people there. A lot of people who like aren't comedians just waiting to go up, but like actual like just audience members enjoying comedy. And that like definitely wasn't the situation last Friday, but I still had a lot of fun. Like I think the opportunity to get to do 10 minutes of stand up like on a stage in a comedy venue is like rare for me at this stage. So I really appreciated that. Shout out to Dino Dad for giving me that opportunity. And it was a fun show. Like there was like a DJ running in between comedians like playing music. I thought that was like a fun element. Scott Coburn, a local Seattle comedian, he was hosting that night. He did a great job. He's a real fun guy. Like I love Scott's energy. He's a great guy too, like a solid man and a comedian, really out there just trying to grow and be funny. So I'm loving comedy. I'm loving the freedom that I'm having in America. I was born in the USA. And I'm loving the freedom that we have. Thank you so much for hopping onto the live or watching this. I appreciate all your support and moving words. Thank you so much for supporting us. It is my honor to give you the spotlight this week. Thank you for being with us in this. We're just trying to podcast, just trying to do whatever we're trying to do, whether you're a trier, a doer, or in betweener. Thank you guys for hopping on to the live. And as always, my friends, stay funny, and stay weird. Peace. Deuces.
Great shot.